Wrong turn turned into an I don't work her lady situation. This happened to me about 2 weeks ago and it is my first and hopefully last encounter. First post. On mobile. Yada yada yada. A little backstory. My aunt was in the hospital and on my days off I went up there to make sure she had clean clothes, charged up portable batteries to charge her phone and tablet and personal care products. One day I had to go to the bank and get some cash from the ATM so I could pay to park in the parking garage because the credit card machine was down from a pretty bad storm the night before. I don't drive in the city the hospital is located at very often, so I like to have my GPS on as it also alerts me to objects in the road, speed traps, etc. Well, I was leaving the ATM and my GPS told me to turn left. There was no stoplight here and with the heavy traffic I didn't feel comfortable doing that and possibly getting into a wreck. I turn right and the GPS tells me to do a U-turn. Without a light. Again, in this city it is very dangerous to do so I decided to wait until the next street that had a light and so I could turn around. After I had turned I realized I was in an industrial park. I instant freak out in case I was in a restricted area, so I tried to find a place for me to turn around. I so happened to do this apparently during a shift change. FML. So I had a ton of cars trying to leave and several behind me trying to arrive for their shift. So I had to go forward. I followed the arrows that were marked to try and get out. Once to the front I realized they blocked the rail for cars to get out that way. WTF. So I am stuck, not knowing what to do, and this middle-aged scary-looking lady who looked like she was on drugs yells at me from her truck, "Lady, you can't go around. You have to go back the way you came." Me, sorry, what? This was a one-way. That's dangerous. Lady, repeats again, you can't go around. Me, there are cars coming so I can't just back up and go around. Lady, you know you cannot go around. Me, I don't work here. I took a wrong turn and I'm trying to get out of here. Lady, listen to me and go back. You should know this. Me, extremely frustrated for being yelled, again, I do not work here. Lady, I can get the security guards to tell you the same thing I already told you. Me, being freaked out by being in this place, being yelled at by druggie over here and cars behind me. I'm just frozen. My anxiety in full gear, not trying to cry. I park, wait for the rows of cars to pass me. I back up, and go back. In the wrong way, mind you. Everyone is giving me looks. I got honked at and I think I saw someone mouth to me, "What the F *** are you doing?" I just mouth, "Blame old hag for me having to do this. I do not work here." Not the most interesting story in the world, but definitely freaked me out. Lesson learned, just listen to the GPS. Put that onion back. TLDR, we don't work here, but we will help you anyway. This happened a few years ago while I was grocery shopping at my local supermarket, Vienna, Austria. I was waiting in line to be served at the meat counter. A middle-aged, nicely clothed lady was waiting in the line before me. When it was her turn, she asked the employee for 2 kilograms, around 4.4 lbs, meat for a goulash, ***. She also asked if the employee had any advice for her, as she had never cooked goulash before and wanted to serve it at a party for several people. That got the attention of several other women near the counter who started to watch and listen. The employee took a look in her shopping cart. A single onion was sitting there. The employee looked to the lady and said, "Okay, first thing you should do, put that onion back. Get a 2 kilograms net of onions instead. For a good goulash, the amount of onions must match the amount of meat. Meanwhile, I will prepare your meat." The look on the face of the employee and her tone were like if the onion had personally offended her. I don't know how to better describe that. At that point, the other women joined the conversation. First they agreed with the employee about the required amount of onions, and then they started to share their tips for cooking a proper goulash. I thought it was hilarious even if I had to wait a little longer for my goulash meat. And #X200B, ***, she wanted to cook a **Wiener Saftgulasch ***, goulash, Austrian style, yummy. Happy smiley. I think it would be unfair to talk about food without sharing the recipe. https://www.ween.info/en/shopping-wining-dining/Viennese-cuisine/recipes/Viennese-goulash, https://www.ween.info/en/foodslashing-viennese-cuisine/recipes/Viennese-goulash. Best thing is, the more often you reheat your goulash, the better it will get. I prefer to cook a huge pot on the weekend and then reheat one portion at a time during the week to have a nice lunch. Man tries to steal my shopping cart. Funny ending. This happened to me about a month ago. I was running errands and my final stop was to buy some groceries. I had just gotten off of work, and was still in my work uniform, which is a black polo with a big staff across the back and my company's logo on the front of the shirt. Now, I hate walking into stores with a staff shirt on. I'm not a fan of strangers people knowing where I work or causing confusion for having a staff shirt on when I don't work at a business. For this reason, if I'm in my work shirt, I will throw on a jacket or hoodie before I walk in some place. This is exactly what I'd done just before I entered the grocery store. So my staff shirt for the place that I do work is completely covered by an oversized varsity jacket with studs and a big tiger across the back, and I have ripped black jeans on. The uniform for the grocery store is green branded t-shirts and khaki pants. I look nothing like the staff there. Because this is the time of COVID, when I go to grab a shopping cart, I stop by the sanitizing station to wipe down the cart before I begin shopping. The sanitizing station is just inside the entrance doors of the grocery store. As I'm finishing up wiping down my shopping cart, another shopper walks in. A man with a baseball cap on. The man sees me cleaning a shopping cart, walks up to me and says, "Oh great, thanks," and tries to grab the front of the cart and walk away. Not understanding yet that he thought I worked there, I think he's trying to steal it from me and have a vice grip on the back of the cart, which causes him to stumble. He whips his head back around and goes, "What do you?" before cutting off mid-sentence and actually looking at me. In my ripped skinny jeans. And my tiger varsity jacket. And my judging eyes. He then quietly says, "Oh, you don't work here," before immediately turning around and walking away into the grocery store, without a cart of his own. As I watched him walk away, finally realizing that he thought I was cleaning the cart for him, I see him pulling his baseball hat low down on his head in shame. He then stood in the distance by a soda display, hat low, and turns to face the shopping cart section. No doubt waiting for me to leave the area. I chuckled as I walked away to do my shopping, and when I was finally a safe distance away, I did catch him out of the corner of my eye slowly approach the carts again, shake his head slightly, and grab one. "It's all right, man. We all make mistakes." Wrote this on my phone, so apologies for any writing mistakes. Some girls mistook my dad as their Uber driver. This happened years ago when I was still in university. My dad was picking me up from my college, and he brought my little brother with him who sat in the back. He stopped near my school gym. Keep in mind that my dad was never an Uber driver, he didn't have the Uber logo on his car. He saw me walking toward him, so he unlocked the car door. Then suddenly, these two girls approached his car and started to open the back door. My dad with his limited English yelled at them because he thought they were trying to snatch my brother. These two girls was quite embarrassed and scared because an older man was yelling at them with an unknown language. I basically had to rush over to explain the situation for both parties. I guess this should be a lesson for all people. Please check the license plate of your Uber car before you open the door. This isn't a casino shuttle, sir. So, I live in a mining town in northeastern Nevada. We have several casinos, and a small airline to bring in tourists into town, play the slots, and free casino shuttles, important later, to drive customers around town. We also get a lot of contractors, drillers, tramp miners, and such that will stay at the casinos and enjoy the nightlife. This happened to my mother-in-law about 16 years ago, right before my wife and I met. My in-laws had 9 kids, they didn't own a TV or something. My wife is the second oldest, and her youngest sister was about 2 when this happened. My father-in-law would take his paycheck down to one of the casinos to cash it on payday. Not because he gambled or drank, but for the coupon for the buffet. After all, they had 9 kids. So one payday, they loaded up the kids in the 15-passenger van, you're probably guessing where this is going, and my mother-in-law drove my father-in-law down to the casino to cash his paycheck. She pulled up under the awning at the front door and dropped him off. She stayed parked under the awning in the shade with the kids, like 7 of the 9. She was just reading a book while she waited, not really paying attention. All of a sudden, not one, but both the passenger door and side sliding door opened and a group of men with drinks and cigarettes in hand started climbing in. The guy who jumped in the passenger seat started giving her directions on where they wanted to go, while the guys climbing in the back seats just froze. As they were climbing into the side door, they came face to face with 2 little girls in toddler seats, and 5 other little cherubs looking over the seats at them. My mother-in-law was just sitting there with a shocked look on her face, as the guy in the passenger seat was still cussing up a storm and still hadn't realized what was going on. I don't know if it was my mother-in-law's shocked and confused look, or not hearing his friends laughing in the back seat, but he realized something was up. He slowly turning around to see a whole gaggle of confused, and slightly scared kids. His gaze turned back to my mother-in-law. "This isn't the casino shuttle, is it?" He asked. "No," she replied, "it's not." All of the men were very apologetic, and really felt bad. They weren't bad men, and they didn't throw a fit. All in all, it was a pretty happy ending, aside from a little scare to the kiddos. But they all still laugh about it to this day. Moral of the story: if you drive a big white van, don't sit parked with the engine running outside of the front door of a casino.